That sinking feeling in your stomach, that's the moment you realize your cruise ship is sailing without you. It's not just the sight of the vessel disappearing over the horizon. It's the sudden, terrifying realization that, unlike a missed flight, there is no next departure, no easy rebooking, and often zero refund. When the cruise line policy says sailing time is departure time, they mean it, and the consequences are far more severe than most travelers imagine. Today, we're dissecting the cold, hard policy realities and telling you precisely what happens to your cabin, your money, and your luggage when you fail to arrive before all aboard. Cruise boarding cutoff times occur a full hour before listed departure times, with some ports requiring even earlier arrival depending on cruise lines, terminals, and itineraries. Major departure ports like Fort Lauderdale's Port Everglades experience massive traffic congestion on sailing days that can add 15 minutes or more to seemingly quick transfers from nearby hotels. Passengers arriving even minutes after cutoff times will be denied boarding regardless of circumstances, as documentation provided after booking clearly specifies these requirements, though many travelers overlook these critical details. But shore travelers often have more rigid schedules due to medication timing and may require additional time navigating terminals with mobility aids or managing medical equipment through security. Senior cruisers frequently book flights arriving the same day as departures to minimize hotel expenses, unknowingly creating dangerous situations where minor delays become catastrophic. Many older adults have invested substantially in cruise vacations, representing significant portions of retirement travel budgets, making the consequences of missed departures particularly devastating financially and emotionally. But surely cruise lines make exceptions and hold ships for late arriving passengers, especially those booked on cruise line flights. Cruise ships operate on meticulously planned schedules where even 1-hour delays affect thousands of passengers, dock workers, tour guides, harbor pilots, and port operations at subsequent destinations. Ships will not wait for late passengers, even when delays occur on cruise line booked flights, though some lines, like Carnival, will arrange transportation to the next port or provide future cruise credits when flight delays cause missed departures. Harbor pilot services charge substantial fees with penalty costs for schedule disruptions, compelling ship captains to prioritize departure timing over individual passenger situations, regardless of circumstances. Mature travelers often assume their years of customer loyalty and premium cabin bookings might generate special consideration, but maritime operations treat all passengers identically regarding departure timing. Senior cruisers who book cruise line air transportation, believing this guarantees ship holds if flight delays are dangerously mistaken, and should understand assistance limitations clearly. Many older adults prefer cruise vacations specifically to avoid travel stress, making the realization that ships depart without passengers particularly shocking when it occurs unexpectedly. So, what options exist for catching up with the ship at the next port if departure is missed? The Passenger Vessel Services Act of 1886 prohibits foreign-flagged cruise ships from transporting passengers between two different U.S. ports, unless itineraries include distant foreign ports, severely limiting where passengers can board mid-cruise. This law means passengers missing Vancouver departures for Alaska cruises cannot board at subsequent U.S. ports like Ketchikan, Juneau, or Skagway, because doing so would violate cabotage restrictions protecting domestic shipping industries. Cruise lines face $941 per person penalties for violations, occasionally waived for medical emergencies, but rarely for missed departures, with families of 4 facing $3,764 charges if attempting forbidden mid-cruise boarding. Mature travelers often book popular Alaska, Caribbean, and coastal itineraries, where cabotage laws create the most restrictive boarding scenarios after missed departures. Senior cruisers with medical conditions may not realize that medical evacuations from ships can trigger penalty fees that cruise lines may charge back to passengers who disembark early. Many older adults possess a limited understanding of maritime law complexities and could make expensive mistakes, assuming mid-cruise boarding options exist where legal restrictions actually prohibit them. But surely travel insurance or cruise line policies provide refunds or compensation for these missed departure disasters? Cruise lines generally refuse refunds or future cruise credits for passengers missing departures due to travel delays, with rare exceptions made case-by-case basis for documented emergencies without guarantees. Passengers legally permitted to join ships at later ports bear complete responsibility for transportation, accommodation, and meal costs during catch-up travel, unless delays resulted from cruise line booked flight problems. Even passengers joining cruises 1 or 2 days late receive no partial refunds for missed cruise days, essentially paying full price for shortened experiences. Mature travelers often operate on fixed retirement incomes, where unexpected expenses of several $1,000s from missed cruise recovery create genuine financial hardship beyond mere inconvenience. Senior cruisers who carefully budget cruise vacations may lack the financial flexibility to absorb last-minute flights, hotels, and meals required for catching ships at secondary ports. Many older adults remember when customer service meant companies worked harder to accommodate problems, making current cruise line refusal policies particularly frustrating and unexpected. Could comprehensive travel insurance provide the financial protection needed when cruise departures are missed? Speaking of travel preparation, heartfelt appreciation to Pomoja Safaris for their ongoing support. Their expertise in managing complex travel logistics for African adventures mirrors the same careful planning needed to avoid cruise departure disasters. Smart travelers always prepare for contingencies. Travel insurance trip interruption coverage varies dramatically between policies, with some covering only weather-related delays, while others include mechanical breakdowns and delay requirements ranging from 3 to 12 consecutive hours before benefits activate. Coverage maximums for missed connections span from minimal $250 amounts to more substantial reimbursements depending on policy pricing, with fine print often severely limiting circumstances where claims succeed. Credit card trip interruption benefits like those from Chase Sapphire Reserve provide high coverage amounts but include restrictive language excluding many common delay causes, making collection difficult despite premium card fees. Mature travelers often purchase travel insurance, believing comprehensive protection exists without carefully reading policy exclusions that eliminate coverage for the most common delay scenarios. Senior cruisers taking multiple medications or managing health conditions should prioritize policies covering medical-related delays, though even these contain limitations requiring careful documentation. Many older adults assume credit card travel benefits provide adequate protection, without understanding that fine print often renders these benefits nearly useless for cruise departure situations. Finally, could professional travel agents provide the advocacy and problem-solving expertise needed when cruise departures are missed? Specialized cruise travel agents maintain substantial business relationships with cruise lines, giving them negotiation leverage and direct access to problem solvers who can arrange alternative transportation, hotel accommodations, and baggage logistics impossible for individual travelers to coordinate. Professional agents can quickly rebook flights to secondary ports where legal boarding is possible, negotiate cabin upgrades as compensation, and handle complex situations like reuniting passengers with luggage already on departed ships. However, even expert agents repeatedly advise arriving at departure ports 1 day early and purchasing comprehensive travel insurance, as salvaging missed departures creates unnecessary stress and expense regardless of successful outcomes. Mature travelers who dismiss travel agents as outdated may not realize that experienced cruise specialists provide invaluable advocacy during crisis situations, when minutes matter and expertise becomes critical. Senior cruisers often lack the energy, technological savvy, and stress tolerance needed to simultaneously negotiate with airlines, cruise lines, hotels, and transportation providers during missed departure emergencies. Many older adults value peace of mind and problem prevention over minor booking fee savings, making professional travel agent relationships particularly worthwhile investments for cruise vacations. Armed with this knowledge about missed cruise consequences, how will smart travelers protect their vacation investments moving forward? The difference between cruise vacation success and catastrophic failure often comes down to understanding that ships operate under completely different rules than airlines, with missed departures creating consequences far beyond mere inconvenience. These 6 critical insights provide the knowledge needed to protect cruise investments through advanced arrival, comprehensive insurance, and professional assistance that transforms potential disasters into manageable situations. If this missed cruise guide proved valuable for vacation planning, show appreciation by hitting the like button and subscribing to more essential cruise protection strategies. Check the video description for travel insurance comparison resources, arrival timing recommendations, and cruise travel agent referrals. What other cruise planning topics would be most helpful for future episodes? Share experiences and questions in the comments below. And remember, the best cruise protection strategy is always arriving at departure ports at least one full day before sailing.